Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Jamie Perez with the Light Journal podcast. Today I'd like to talk about reality and our ability to control it. Each of us are creating our reality by what we believe and what we accept to be truth. This goes far deeper than merely seeing things differently. Each of us are literally within the box or bubble of our own design. Thus, our truths are actually true within our own box. So if we believe the sky is gray and the grass is blue, then that's what we'll see because that is our reality. If we pray to a God of anger and retribution, then that is how our God works in our life. Within our box, all we know and experience and see is what we actually project from our belief systems. I believe this is why so many different spiritual traditions exist. I believe this is why channelers, psychics, mediums, etc. often have very different versions of the unseen realm. Those realms do exist within the reality created by that person. Those who hear and agree with a theology, philosophy, a channel, a psychic, etc., will also begin to experience reality in that way. The more people who are brought into a particular version of reality, the more porous and translucent the original box becomes. So even if we don't enter into one another's realities, we can still share in the experience of it. Our box and the other person's box share a screen, per se, that allows us to both collaborate a shared reality. Another way to look at it is that we're in a room of mirrors or prisms, each reflecting a portion of the reality we share with someone else. The more we share, the more our mirrors align. That's how we would choose our reality, by choosing which mirrors to see ourselves through. But it's the combination of prisms we choose that make our reality uniquely ours. So we're in a box made of mirrors or prisms, and we turn and adjust the mirrors every moment of every day until we find a prism that best suits us. But we aren't just working with one mirror, but thousands of them. For example, if we believe life is unfair, or if we see ourselves as a victim, we'll keep adjusting our reality, adjusting the prisms in our mirrors, until that is our experience. That's why our beliefs are so important. The more we expect something to be true, the more our mirrors are adjusted to make it true in our reality. Recently, I was listening to a well-known psychic, and she was describing a reality that's far different from the one that I see and believe to be true. When that happens, I have a choice to make. Do I consider her a fraud, deceived, or otherwise lost in her own made-up world? Or do I consider what aspects of her reality I want to bring into mine? So if at any point I resonate with something she said, I might turn my mirrors or my prisms to allow aspects of her reality to seep into mine. I don't have to accept everything she said as my truth. I can accept that she is experiencing these truths in her own box of mirrors and that they are her truths. For most of my life, I understood that people around the world were living differently than me, believing differently than me, and perceiving the world differently than me. What I didn't realize was just how differently. Our creative energies are divine, meaning that we are literally, not figuratively, but literally creating separate realities. So when I hear about a near-death experiencer or an NDE who sees whatever deity or afterlife entity that's common in their culture, it makes perfect sense. They have been experiencing a reality of their own making. They would still be carrying their own beliefs or personalities and egos with them. It's only after the ego structure is dissolved that this reality loses its hold anyway. So when we recognize that we are creating our life experiences and the reality around us through what we do and don't believe and do and don't expect, it becomes apparent that no one has all the truth. Because truth depends upon the reality we create for ourselves. And that reality, that truth, is only true within the box of mirrors that we're dwelling in. Truth, objective truth, can only be obtained when we leave the box. That's when we can see clearly without mirrors reflecting our beliefs back at us. In the meantime, we have an amazing, awesome opportunity. If our reality changes as we change our beliefs and expectations, then we can change the world by aligning our mirrors to the highest beliefs, thoughts, and expectations. Instead of destructive and negative expectations and beliefs about ourselves and the world, we can begin changing our beliefs and expectations through doing things like positive affirmations. We can start by just telling ourselves that all is love, joy, peace, light, courage, fearlessness, humility, and divinity. We can begin each day with affirmations like, all challenges are exciting opportunities, or I see and recognize the divinity flowing in, through, and as all things. Or, I am aware of my own divinity. Or, I see clearly, hear clearly, know clearly, and feel clearly. Or, we are all one. The more you say these things aloud, the more you'll begin to believe them. And the more you believe them, the more mirrors in your box will begin to change to reflect this new reality that you are creating. I believe that if enough of us recognize our innate divinity, we may actually begin to escape the boxes and be lifted to a higher vibrational reality where truth will be the truth for everyone, and we could know one another as we truly are. I recognize that many are in difficult situations, and these situations create anger, resentment, bitterness, and so on. These feelings all make the reality worse because it solidifies it. The stronger our emotion, the more we are showing that we believe something to be true. And as we've already established, the more we believe something is true, the more our reality, or the mirrors and prisms in our box, reflect that reality back to us, thus making our life situation much more difficult. If we want to change our lives, it has to start with what we believe about life. This will affect our emotions, and as we no longer fight against our situations, but learn how to accept it and work with it, our beliefs and emotions will change our reality around us. Thanks for listening. I'm Jamie Perez with the Light Journal Podcast. Blessings on your journey, everyone.